Good morning. I would ask you to find your seats, but you seem like everyone has already found their seats. So we're prepared for this morning's service. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. Our minister is Reverend Stephen Robinson. My name is Connie Quirk. I am the service leader for today. On those Sundays, this is one when Stephen is not in the pulpit, we present a variety of interesting speakers from this congregation and from recognized guests from a wider community. Today we have some welcomed, recognized guests that you will meet along the way. To those of you here with us in the sanctuary, please be advised that this service is being streamed on YouTube, and the website has a link to the Zoom event. We would still, of course, rather have everyone here in person, but as the COVID still lingers and we move into the flu season, we need to be as cautious as we can. Please make sure you read the announcements in your printed order of service. Also be sure to read the weekly events that are emailed to you each Thursday, as well as things posted on our website. We do urge you to keep your tab for the website open on your computer so that you can check in and see what's going on as easily as possible. I'd like to ask Emilio to come up, please. He has an announcement for us.
Good morning. I think you've all seen the announcement, but unfortunately, since the community transmission is high for COVID again, we have to put these things on just for the safety of everybody. So it's not mandatory, but we just recommend if you're in an indoor place or public transportation that you limit your risk of being exposed. So sorry to be the bad guy or bad person telling you, but we're back to the mask, at least for the time being, and we'll change it as the things change. So, right. So.
Thank you, Emilio. I have another announcement from Mark Drews. Will you?
Thank you, Connie. And from the bad guy to the good guy, if I could direct you to the back of our order of service, please. And under church staff, you're going to see a new name that began working last week, and we'd like to go ahead and welcome Cindy Alexander to our congregation. Is Cindy in the house? Cindy, would you please stand and be recognized, and you and your family? Please know that we're really excited to have you on board, and you are in a very welcoming place. And thank you for assuming the role of administrator. Thank you, Cindy and family.
One more announcement from Tom Clements.
The Social Action Committee has just realized that January 16th, Monday, is Martin Luther King Day. And in the past couple of years, it's been kind of a question if they were going to hold the march from the Zion Baptist Church on Washington Street to the state capitol. And that appears it's going to happen. So we will gather at 9 o'clock, and Connie and Kevin are going to send out a message, at least to the social action list, but we'll march behind the UUCC banner and go down and gather at the State House. So please join us and celebrate the day. Thank you.
And we're glad to see that come back since it's been gone for so many years. And here's an announcement for parents. If you need items to occupy your young folk, there's a table there just specifically with things. They're welcome to go back and forth, get what they need. When they're through, do it again. That back and forth is good for us. We don't mind it at all as long as they stay busy and they're happy being in the service. I would tell you we have a nursery, but it doesn't look like we need our nursery this morning. So, and now, please silence all your electronic devices as we center ourselves for today's service and listen to the prelude.
I'm pleased to have Kevin McKinney joining for music today. This is Let There Be Peace on Earth by Cy Miller and Jill Jackson, an arrangement by Jay Eldhouse. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God our Creator, neighbors all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment. Let this be the moment. Every step I take, let this be my solemn vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me, and let it begin with
Thank you, Anna and Kevin. And please stand and join me in the congregational affirmation. It's found in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant one another. Please be seated. The Unitarian Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. We are a covenantal religion. Haven't done this in a while. Covenantal religion, which means that we don't have to believe the same in order to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. Our community is based on deeds, not creeds. As Unitarian Universalists, we side with love, embracing all people regardless of age, color, race, socioeconomic status, physical ability, and religious background. We have been officially designated by the Unitarian Universalist Association, the UUA, as a welcoming congregation that welcomes LGBTQ plus individuals. We especially invite families and young children to participate in our services. Thus, we have the nursery. We encourage everyone to wear name tags so that we may know each other better. Board members wear green name tags, and they always welcome your comments, your questions, your suggestions. So would the board members please stand now so that you may be recognized? Thank you. At this time, we would like to recognize any guests or visitors who are with us today. So visitors, if you are willing and able, please rise and share with us your name, where you are from. Or if you have guests here, Please feel free to introduce the guests. Please wait for the microphone to come around. Amelia will be bringing it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Clara, and I actually just moved here from Los Angeles, and I grew up in a UU church out there.
Good morning and Happy New Year to you all. My name is Chaudhry Sadiq, and I represent the community of Muslims, Islam, the faith of Islam, one of the 6 mosques here, there are quite a number of them, and we are blessed to have our family here, 2 of whom will address you shortly with the opening words. My wife, again, my name is Chaudhry Sadiq, and I wear 2 caps. One is the president of the mosque, which is called Nurul Huda, Masjid Nurul Huda. Also a partnership with PICNA, which is an interfaith organization called PICNA, meaning Peace and Integration Council of North America. Together, we welcome our non-Muslim neighbors, our friends, and we've been doing for the last many, many years, we've been doing our best to create interfaith harmony. Again, we are blessed to be here. We've been here before, and thank you so much for your hospitality. And on behalf of my wife, Gul Sadiq, also I welcome you all, are happy to be here.
I'm Tayyiba Sadiq, and I'm very blessed to be here with everybody, and thank you for the hospitality and such a beautiful service community.
Good morning. I'm Elaine Frick. I'm a neighbor here, have lived in Rosewood for many years, and my husband and I attend the Quaker Fellowship Community Friends meeting, and we'll be presenting about the Columbia Peace Pole initiative today. Thank you for offering us the chance to do that.
Hi, I'm Kate Webb, and I'm glad to be here, and I am with the Peace Pole initiative also.
Thank you. We welcome you all. And visitors, please fill out a visitor's card and put it in the collection plate. You'll find one in the back of the seats that are in front of you, or if you're in the front row, that are behind you. It's nothing in front of you to get. So, and if you fill it out, you will not get anybody coming and knocking at your door and, pushing you to come back and things like that. So remembering our masking and distance preferences, let's take a moment to greet each other. Turn to those around you and offer a pleasant greeting with a handshake or a fist bump, a big smile, whatever you are comfortable with. If we could all be seated now. It's really exciting to see everybody chatting, and we will have plenty of time after the service in the social hall for further discussions and introductions and visiting with each other. Thank you. Today's chalice lighter is Bethany Storlazzi.
Hey, good morning, y'all. When I found out that a lovely young lady that I've met here at the UUCC has never had a chance to be our chalice lighter, I'd asked her if she would like to do it. And yeah, let's have Elle come on up here and speak with us today. So I'll come up another time to light a chalice, but y'all know me.
Hello, my name is Elle. I've been coming here for 6 months, and most of you may know my name, but I'm not sure you know much else about me. I'm 29. I have a degree in anthropology and classics from USC. I specialized in archaeology. I currently work as a gardener, but I've worked in an office, manufacturing, retail, and hydroponic farming. I am published, I'm in a union, and I serve as a delegate. I've previously served as a board member for the nonprofit Slow Food Columbia. My passions include sustainability, workers' rights, permaculture farming, history, archaeology, cultural anthropology, ethical philosophy, and standing against injustice. I've been coming here since summer. I did not come here for my own need, but because I came here because I saw a place where I could be needed. John Steinbeck wrote, "Unused land is a crime against thin children." Outside us is a large plot of land that once held a community garden. I approached a lot of people about reviving it. The Buildings and Grounds Committee gave me a yes at first, but I was unable to attend a meeting midday during the work week, so then they changed their mind to a no. I asked why, when I wanted to move in stages and start with simple low-maintenance perennials. They shrugged and said it wasn't possible and to go somewhere else if I wanted to do community gardening. That was a very unsatisfactory answer, and I could feel in my bones what God desires of me. For who am I hurting? I planted 2 blueberry bushes in November, given to me by coworkers touched by this goal. Those went unnoticed for a few weeks, so then I planted a mulberry bush and 2 raspberry plants. After work, I came by to carry buckets of water and tend to them. I thought it was over when the frost covers went on the spigots outside, but they missed one, so the work could continue. Last week, Bill, our groundskeeper, texted me a picture of the raspberries asking if it was my handiwork. Yes, it was. He asked who authorized it, and that left me a little breathless because God did. I thought we were here for community, not bureaucracy. I will respect the eviction notice for my plants, but I will not accept the answer that it is not possible for us to have a community garden. My own experience is indicative of the problems here, which need to be spoken openly about. The philosopher Hannah Arendt spent much of her work focusing on the banality of evil and how people can do bad things without bad intentions. She connected people's thoughtlessness and a disengagement of the realities of their acts. This stems from an inability to think from the point of view of someone else. Never more is this clear than in the treatment of the young here. On our Hanukkah service, one of the members got up and shushed the children playing with dreidels that we gave them. I heard the kids because I sit in the back, and they were not playing too noisily. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. That was not a welcoming act towards children. You may scratch your heads at why the demographics have been skewing gray, but if you were willing to see truth, you would have already found the answer in some self-reflection, and we only reflect if we believe we may need to change. I want to leave you with a final thought on children by Khalil Gibran. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for as he loves that arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Thank you.
Thank you, Elle. That's a lot of food for thought for all of us. And we will think about a lot of it. Our opening hymn will be...
I invite you to join in singing our opening hymn number 1023, Building Bridges. It's in your teal hymnal, and I invite you to stand as you're willing and able. I'll sing it once through as you are finding it. Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. The music for this round is a contemporary English Quaker round. And the words are by the women of the Greenham Common peace occupation in England in the early 1980s. These women stood together against nuclear weapons and the storage of nuclear missiles in their communities. They chained themselves to fences. They grew in numbers, close to 70,000, women linking arms, standing together, stretching over 14 miles. I invite you to join in singing in unison with me 2 times through.
Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony.
And in the spirit of coming together from different places, I invite you to join me in singing in a round. If this half of the congregation could sing with me, we'll start right at the beginning. And from about the middle to the other side, if you can follow the marvelous Kevin McKinney, he's going to bring you in halfway through. And we'll go through the round 3 times. Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With
Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony.
Okay. I am going to introduce to you the Peace Pole Initiative, and other people coming up will introduce themselves and take it a little further. The Columbia Peace Pole Initiative is an outgrowth of the Interfaith Hiroshima Vigil Remembrance Committee, which since 1991 has held vigils at various locations on the anniversary of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. On August 6, 1945, let's see, that's the bombing day. Okay, excuse me. Hiroshima Vigilance Committee was formed in 2006. I actually tried to blow this up and I didn't do a very good job. So I have little scribbles like I used to on my dissertation and it's not working. So anyway, I'll tell you. The first one was planted by the Columbia Friends Meeting, the Quakers. And they have been working to get peace poles. They're certainly a whole lot bigger than this. But there are several around town, and there are plans to do many, many more. So with that, I will ask that Tayaba and Amar come up and give us the opening words.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you. We'd like to share a prayer for the world, and these are from the words of a British imam who spoke at an interfaith gathering.
Our Lord, unite our nation and our world around the principles of faith, justice, love, and peace.
Put peace and love in our hearts for the diversity that makes our world so beautiful.
O Lord, most powerful, give us the strength to protect and care for our neighbors.
O Lord, we pray for our nation to remain loving and compassionate, to remove prejudice from our hearts, and enable us to love our brothers and sisters of all faiths.
God, most merciful, allow us to show mercy to those most vulnerable in society.
Protect us from evil and inspire and guide us in defending those open to abuse.
Lord, most generous, give our governments and leaders vision and wisdom as they take decisions affecting peace in our world.
Lord, our sustainer, allow us to care for our environment and sustain this world for future generations.
Lord, most merciful, most generous, please give us the patience to continue to learn from one another and work towards a more peaceful and compassionate world.
Make our hearts generous as we may treat each other as we wish to be treated. Strengthen us, love us, and be kind to all of us. And in Arabic, we'd like to end with this. Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam tabarakta ya dhul jalali wal ikram.
English translation, O Allah, God, you are as-salam, the peace. From you is all peace. Blessed are you, O possessor of majesty and honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now for the story for all ages. Bethany?
Hey, do we have any kids? Come on up. Hello. Cal, is it just you and me? Wow, okay. Oh, awesome, man. I love it. Fabulous. Well, I'm not alone now. Look at everybody over here. So, I have a book that I wanted to tell you about. It's sometimes, well, most of the time we do picture books over here, but this is a chapter book. And do you have a library card? Yeah. Okay. Do you have a library card? Yeah. Cool. All right. This came from the public library, and it's a book that we have been promoting with this Peace Pole project. It's called The Last Cherry Blossom, and I'll hand it over to you, and you can pass it around. That's the only picture that I have, because it's not a picture book. but I was wondering if you might wanted to look at the cover of it. Does it invoke like a feeling of happiness or sadness? So I want you to think about that as you look at the one picture. I do have some things, while I tell you about the book, I have some things if you wanted to do any origami. I happen to fold a couple into some cranes. And I also have these really cool origami pigeons that if you would like to take one home, it's got the directions and it's got a story on why I have this. This came from Caroline Eastman quite a while ago. So this book actually was written by somebody that lives not too far from here. She lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, and this is the story of her mom. Her mom grew up in Japan and lived through a huge, terrible war. It was World War II. And what I liked about this book and what I wanted to tell you about it is the beginning of the book tells about her life in Japan as a 12-year-old. And it's so different than the way we live, the way you live. Like, for instance, what did she wear? Or what was school like in 1945 in Japan? What did she eat? How about her holidays? I thought that the first half of the book was something that you would find really interesting. And what do you think about that picture? What did you think, Amar? Was it scary? Was it happy?
Well, at first I was holding it upside down, so I thought it was a flower blossom rising out of the smoke.
Yeah. It's easy to have it confused, huh? And I imagine that as this book goes on, it did get confusing. How about you, Cal? Did you get a chance to look at that?
Yeah, it looks sad.
It does kind of look sad, yeah. In the middle of the book, it does take a very strong turn into sadness and darkness because the Americans really wanted the war to end. And they felt that the only way to do it was to drop a humongous bomb. And they knew that a lot of innocent people were going to die, but they didn't see another way out. So it happened. And unfortunately, the person in here lost a lot of family members, and she lost a lot of friends. And it talks about what it was like. And it does, you could say it had a happy ending because she survived and she went on to live here in the United States and have children. But I just wanted you to have an opportunity to know that this book was around. And one of the things that happened in Japan after the war was that somebody, I don't know exactly who, but somebody came up with the idea of creating what's called a peace pole because they wanted a representation of the war, and they wanted people to know, we can't do this again. This is just awful. So, did you see this already? This little tiny peace pole? Yeah. Okay. So, this was created in Japan, and it's been adopted all over the world. And there's a group here that has been working to get peace poles around our city, and that's what we're going to be talking about when you are sung out. So, that is what I wanted to tell you about. And I'll have this book with me. If you would like to write down the name of it, come see me after service, and I'll let you write it down or take a photo, because you can get this out of the library and read it or have it read to you. All right. Any thoughts? I like that. That's beautiful. All right, would you join me in singing our children out? And
Thank you. And there's a lot more. There's a table out back that has a lot of information that during the service, the social hour, you could take a look at. It is now time for our candles of community. If you have a significant personal joy, sorrow, concern that you would like to share from this pulpit, particularly those on streaming, please email or text us before noon on Friday so that we can read yours in person. If you are here in person and would like to speak for yourself, you must pick up a candle. There are 7 in a basket. If you didn't, there may still be some and you could get one. And bring it up here and speak briefly about your joy or concern or what is on your mind. Do we have anyone with candles?
Bring a candle because I was so busy getting ready for this, but I'll do an imaginary candle. This is the first time. Oh, you're a sweetheart. Thank you. This is the first time that I'm having our family all together. And I don't know how long. Normally now it's just me and my husband, but now Drew and Noel are here. And Sophia is in California watching. Hello, Sophia, and Hitesh. So yeah, this is a joy to have my family together.
Well, I want to share a great... Oh, okay. I would like to share a great sadness in my family. My niece, who has just turned 60, was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And, you know, I asked my doctor about it, and I said, are there any symptoms before stage 4, which is shortness of breath and heavy coughing? And she said, not really. You know, the only thing would be a CAT scan. So anyway, I really would love it if you would remember her in your prayers. Thank you.
I'm Caroline Eastman, and this candle is for Max, one of our cats who has just been diagnosed with kidney cancer and is now in home hospice. If you're not familiar with kidney cancer, it is like lung cancer, something that is almost never diagnosed until it reaches stage 4 in cats or in people.
We light one final candle for those joys and concerns that remain silent in our hearts. To ponder these joys and concerns, let us pause for a moment of silent meditation. Thank you. This congregation contributes to Share the Plate, where half of our cash collection each Sunday goes to a local charity, a way for us to give back to the community. This month's Share the Plate goes to our minister's discretionary fund. And as many of you know, this is money that is used by our minister when he finds it necessary, when a family is in need, a person is in need, whatever comes his way. So please, if you can, give generously because he uses it the entire year. If you contribute by check, please write Share the Plate on the memo line, but you can also contribute online by going to the website and clicking on the donate button. You will find the link at UUCC website, uucolumbia.org, if that helps. Ushers, would you please come forward?
This morning's offertory music is May I Be an Instrument, a song by Amanda Udis Kessler, based on text from the Peace Prayer of St. Francis. May I be an instrument of peace, of love, of hope, of joy and faith. May I be an instrument of peace, of love, of hope, of joy and faith. May I pardon as I've been pardoned. May I console as I have been consoled. May I understand as I've been understood. I pray. When we give, we receive. When we love, then we are loved. When we live for others, our lives are filled with grace.
Thank you. Thank you. We receive these gifts with gratitude and appreciation as it demonstrates that we are truly a giving community. And now I'm going to ask Elaine Frick to come up, and she's going to describe Peace on Earth, the Peace Pole message.
Thanks, Connie, and thank you all. It's been a very moving morning so far for me, the beautiful music. Hope I can keep it together because it's been very emotional for me, and I appreciate it. I have here on the screen, just to begin, a photo of a simple peace pole in a beautiful, tranquil setting. And it says simply, may peace prevail on earth. Today, there are more than 250,000 peace poles planted in over 190 countries around the world. Peace poles are the most prominent international symbol and monument to peace. They represent the highest aspirations and goodwill inherent in the human heart, transcending race, religion, and creed. So our Columbia Peace Pole Initiative is documenting now local peace poles and encouraging the planting of many more in Columbia to instill the message of hope and peace in our communities. This morning, our committee will share the history of both the International Peace Pole Project and our own local initiative. We'll show you examples of many peace poles, explain the background of our next Peace Pole project, and have Columbia ceramic artist Olga Yukhno describe the design and vision for her upcoming Persimmon Peace Pole. Olga was unexpectedly unable to be with us in person today, so she kindly created a video instead, and we'll show that when I finish speaking. So just what is a peace pole? It's usually a four-sided pole with a message and prayer, "May peace prevail on earth," written in 4 languages, one on each side. This is the tallest peace pole in the world, standing 54 feet high on the campus of Kwame Nkrumah University. It is in Accra, Ghana, which is one of Colombia's sister cities, by the way. The 5 languages used are Twi, a local language, Hindi, Chinese, Swahili, and Arabic. It was erected in 2007 on the UN International Day of Peace. On a recent trip to Croatia, I discovered a peace pole in a harborside park, declaring "May peace prevail on earth" in Croatian, Serbian, English, and Japanese. This peace pole was presented at a recent Rotary International Convention. This peace pole in Kyoto, Japan, is planted next to other typical Japanese signposts. The inspiration for this universal message and prayer for world peace came to Masahisa Goi of Japan after witnessing the devastation caused by World War II and the dropping of the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Mr. Goi dedicated himself to working for world peace. Japan has an ongoing tradition of vertical stones with text engraved in them. In 1955, Mr. Goi wrote in Japanese what can be translated into English as "May peace prevail on earth." The first peace poles outside of Japan began to appear around the world in the early 1980s, thanks to the efforts of the Peace Pole Project, which is at worldpeace.org. Peace poles now link communities all over the world with those who have planted peace poles in that same spirit. Peace poles can be made from a variety of materials. This one in Hendersonville, North Carolina, from extra porch posts. They can be made from wood. They can be made from upcycled vinyl PVC, such as this one at Hayward Street Church, just a block from here. Some peace poles are made of redwood cedar with white plaques. Others are made from native marble. And this Columbia one, the Vista Peace Pole, created from Corten steel with stainless steel script. Peace poles can be original works of art, or they can be ordered online. They can be inexpensive, or they can be costly. Peace poles can be in 4 languages or in many languages. This one includes 16 languages, representing the languages spoken by students and faculty at Richland I schools. So, how did the Columbia Peace Pole Initiative come to be? For over 30 years, an interfaith group has held Hiroshima vigils of remembrance at various locations on the anniversary of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima on August 6th, 1945. A simple peace pole was planted in 2016 at Columbia's Quaker Meeting House during the annual Hiroshima Vigil. As a result of that planting, the Interfaith Hiroshima Vigil Committee decided to form the Columbia Peace Pole Initiative, dedicated to encouraging the planting of peace poles around Columbia and the Midlands. And the idea grew. A few years later, Shandon Presbyterian Church planted a peace pole in front of their main sanctuary entrance. Theirs is a wooden one with 6 sides and numerous languages, I think including sign language. I have to check on that. Then the Columbia Peace Pole Initiative Committee began identifying and mapping other peace poles. We discovered this amazing stainless steel one dedicated by the Montessori Schools of Richland School District 1 for the district's work in promoting peace. It's on the grounds of the district's administrative offices in downtown Columbia. Many schools around the world teach peace in their curricula, of course, and encourage students to make their own peace poles. These photos show one created in 2002 and planted at the entrance to Rosewood Elementary School. Some of the Richland I Montessori schools, like Brockman Elementary, have planted a number of peace poles. Brockman has 4 peace poles across its campus. The second one is in a garden, another is in a playground, and a portable one is used in their annual Peace Day event every September 21st. Kaufman Road Elementary Montessori School has over 20 student-created peace poles. They share year-round the students' simple messages of peace. Keep your eyes open, please, for other peace poles and let us know their locations. We have a clipboard out back where you can let us know where you've seen more. In 2016, a Columbia City Council member suggested that our Columbia Peace Pole Initiative Committee place a peace pole with other public works of art on the wide grassy median in the 900 block of Senate Street between the South Carolina State House and the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center in downtown Vista area. In 2020, the committee received the city's permission and began to work with One Columbia for Arts and Culture in their process to select a local artist. The committee chose Columbia artist Eileen Blythe's unique concept of a peace pole with a bell design and 8 languages. The committee worked long and hard to decide which languages and chose those to represent and honor the diversity of our local populations and traditions. In addition to English and Japanese, the languages chosen were Arabic and Spanish, Gullah and Hindi, and Catawba and Hebrew. So the Vista Peace Pole became a reality. On a very cold morning in January 2022, over 100 courageous citizens dedicated the Vista Peace Pole with Mayor Rickenman and other city officials. Your congregations, Anna Hamilton and Kevin McKinney, shared the song, "Let There Be Peace on Earth and Let It Begin With Me." You see why I'm so moved today. One by one, native speakers of the 8 languages on the peace pole read the message of peace in their language and rang the bell for a world of peace in Japanese and Hebrew, in Arabic and Gullah, in Spanish and Catawba, in Hindi and in English. It was a moving experience to hear the many languages and the solemn bell proclaim, "May peace prevail on earth." The Vista Peace Pole dedication program listed 50 individuals and groups who raised a total of $9,000 for the project. The Vista Peace Pole is now owned by the City of Columbia, which will continue its maintenance and preservation. So now the Vista Peace Pole will make a unique, permanent, artistic statement, "May peace prevail on earth," for years to come. Young and old will be drawn to ring the bell, read the many languages, and dedicate themselves to acts of peace. This is the artist and her grandchildren, I meant to say. Peace poles are not just static artistic monuments and works of art, but they're catalysts to inspire actions for peace. As one member of our committee says, the word peace is not just a noun, but also a verb. The Vista Peace Pole is in the cherry tree-lined block of Senate Street in front of the USC Alumni Building and the Hilton Hotel, down in the heart of Columbia's Vista area and within view of the South Carolina State House Dome. So the Columbia Peace Pole Initiative is thrilled to announce now the next planned Peace Pole project, the Persimmon Peace Pole. Why Persimmon? It's a moving story. The atomic bombing of Hiroshima in 1945 killed 1/3 of the city's citizens. Those who survived feared that nothing would grow in the ruined city for decades. However, new seedlings began to sprout and across the desolate landscape and became symbols of hope, encouraging survivors to rebuild. Eventually, the city of Hiroshima began to register and map A-bombed trees. These A-bomb trees are defined as trees that were within 2 kilometers of the radioactive blast center, but went on to bud again. A map of the area identifies 170 trees at 54 locations. These survivor trees, named Hibakashu mongi in Japanese, have continued to flourish, give fruit, and bear witness. A volunteer organization, Green Legacy Hiroshima, shares these second-generation Hiroshima seeds and saplings around the world. A member of our Columbia Peace Pole Initiative Committee requested and received seeds of these Hiroshima survivor persimmon tree and ginkgo tree. Our seeds grew to saplings, and then the Riverbanks horticultural staff agreed to care for them. This was our sapling about last May. Thanks to the Green Legacy Hiroshima maps, we know the location of our trees, mother trees. Quite amazing. The mother tree of our persimmon still stands today in a memorialized area along Peace Boulevard in Hiroshima. At the time of the bombing, the persimmon tree and 11 other varieties of trees surrounded Atago Pond inside the Kokutaji Temple. The searing heat of the atomic blast scorched the pond and trees. And yet, from that, what remained of the trees, new life sprouted and grew into trees that now cling to the surrounding rocks to support their trunks. These hibakuchi trees managed not only to survive, but to thrive once again. So our survivor persimmon and our survivor ginkgo can soon be planted next to upcoming peace poles as tangible signs of hope and peace in our world. So the story of our persimmon and ginkgo trees was inspiration for Russian-born Olga Yukhno, who still has family in both Russia and Ukraine. Olga is an award-winning Columbia ceramic artist who has worked at USC's McMaster Gallery and at Stormwater Studio, recently won South Carolina State Fair Best in Show and first place in ceramic awards. Olga planned to be with us today, but as I said, when she learned that she would unexpectedly not be able to be here in person, she's created a video to share her design and concept for her Persimmon Peace Pole, which is the next peace pole supported by the Columbia Peace Pole Initiative. So here is Olga's vision as she presents it in a small video.
Hello, my name is Olga Yukhno, and I'm very excited to be working on the Persimmon Peace Pole. This project combines quite a number of things that I feel very passionately about. Connection to nature, symbolism, and a very, very important and powerful message. When I was first approached to create this piece, I really connected with the idea of having it built, having it created around the tree that is a child of the mother tree that survived the Hiroshima bombing. I felt that it was a very important element to include, and I really wanted to think about the symbolism of every element that I wanted to be present in this project. So that's what I did, and I would like to tell you a few more words about it. The Persimmon Peace Pole will be a 7-foot-tall sculptural piece that will use symbolism relating to trees to convey its message of peace in the face of danger coming from the nuclear threat. Most prevalent will be its connection to the persimmon tree that survived the nuclear bombing in Japan, which inspired the whole project. From the bottom, you will be able to see tree roots containing and suppressing the danger of nuclear power, represented by the red color underneath. These roots will be grown into a persimmon tree with red fruit clinging to the bare branches. The choice of the tree not only pays homage to the real-life tree grown from the seed of the mother persimmon tree and planted here in Columbia, but in Japanese culture it is considered to be the symbol of the country, as well as being generally associated with perseverance and transformation. The top will be visually a smaller reflection of the bottom, but the tree controlling the retrogression here is the ginkgo tree, represented by its iconic leaves. In Japanese culture, the ginkgo tree is a symbol of longevity, endurance, and wisdom. In the center, where the boughs of the two trees come together, the words, "May peace prevail on earth," will be inscribed in 8 languages and echo the color scheme of other elements of the piece. Around these words, wrapping the heart of the pole, will be the branches of the sakura cherry tree, with gentle blossoms blooming. The sakura cherry represents renewal and hope. Crowning the pole will be a doomsday clock, using the iconic style that has been used since the 1940s to highlight the danger of nuclear threat. The message I would like to convey is that it requires wisdom and perseverance to bring hope despite the fact that the threat of nuclear annihilation looms over us all. All the pieces that I mentioned, the flowers, the fruit, the beautiful ginkgo leaves, will be hand sculpted and one of a kind, and I hope that this will really contribute to the uniqueness and intricacy of the whole project. But the Peace Pole itself is not going to stand in isolation. My big vision actually incorporates several other elements that will create the installation feel to it. And those elements include a bench that will be executed in the same style with the same motifs, and that will give people an opportunity to think and meditate, relax, and enjoy the beauty of the surrounding area as well as the art piece, and some stepping stones that will also support the message and the visual feel of the whole installation. As I mentioned, I would like for the Peace Pole to have a bigger role than just a beautiful art piece. Our vision is for it to become a gathering place and help people come and talk and think about some really important and powerful messages that are part of the Peace Pole itself. And I really hope that working together we can make this dream come true and create a new, beautiful, and powerful piece of art, a gathering place, a community place that will help our city become a little bit more beautiful, interesting, and creative. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Is number 1026, is If Every Woman in the World. It's located in your teal hymnal. I invite you to locate it and stand as you are willing and able to join us in singing. To include and embrace all of our non-binary friends, I also invite you in any place you choose in the hymn to use "if every person" or "if every one."
Thank you both again for lovely music today. And for our closing words, Bethany.
I selected the closing words from a book called Peace by Wendy Anderson Halperin. May your eyes have visions of peace. May your eyes see actions of peace. May you find peace seeing the wonders of nature. May your hands do the work of peace to help, to plant, to comfort, to reach out, to create peace. And may your feet walk in the direction of peace.
Thank you. Lovely closing words to a lovely ceremony. And now I will extinguish the chalice. We extinguish the chalice at the end of our time together here today. May its flame glow gently in our hearts and light our paths as we leave this place until we are together again.
Please join in singing our congregational benediction.
May the blessings of truth be upon us. May the power of love direct us. And may the peace of this community sustain us till we meet again.
This concludes our service, and thank you again for joining us. All of the Peace Pole Initiative folks and other visitors, you're welcome to stay and enjoy light refreshments. Please adjourn to the social hall, grab a drink and snacks. You can go outside if it's not too cold, or for those that are here in the sanctuary, and those that were watching us on YouTube, we will see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I think that all went very well. Good. Good.
Thank you for inviting me.
I also, maybe you can help me with something and I won't have to disturb Connie.